The satisfying death of Hypebeast culture. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Hypebeast culture, I remember that. Who remembers 2016 when we used to dress like I don't know, we used to wear them long ass tees, you know, the rounded bottom ones from the side. It used to be like long flannels wrapped around the waist. It was all BS. If you used to dress like, I ain't had the bread, but I went to Pakistan and got a two for 10 one time. I ran them bitches dry. Wore them every Friday. I was in high school wearing this. I feel a lot of us was wearing the same clothes every single day. That style was gone. And basically, we talking about the end of it. Let's get straight into this video.
She been comment me.
To go, Kanye West and Adidas released the Yeezy 50 Turtle Dove, a shoe which
Video by Matty Balls. He back on another one. Back with another banger. Matty Balls on some, you know what I'm saying? It's the most he's seen the channel 2 times this week. Crazy.
in my opinion, symbolized one of the craziest cultural moments ever, the Hypebeast era. Brands like Supreme and Nike were causing riots. Kids in school were showing up in fake Yeezys getting roasted, and people were dressing like this.
That's what I'm saying. Not even this. This is not what I'm saying. Not this. I'm saying more like, it was like long, but like it would go like this. It would the back, it would be rounded like this to the back, and it will go like this, and do the same on the other side.
Or this, or even this. But
Bape, Supreme, Obey, is that Supreme? I don't know. Y'all remember that that donut that was OF? It was I forgot the name.
what tied all of these crazy streetwear pieces together was the shoes. I mean, you weren't gonna pop out in Off-White, Supreme, and have Nike Huaraches on. That would have been crazy in 2016. Sneakers were at the core of the Hypebeast streetwear fashion trend. I mean, literally every single influencer, celebrity, and YouTuber I followed at that time.
Y'all remember NMDs? Oh my goodness. Human races, NMDs. What else? Like, bro, I couldn't even get to the store to try them on. It was never in stock. Yeah, alone them having a size 15.5 in them. They wasn't going for that. I walk in the store and I say, y'all got a 15 back in the day. Now they just be like, you don't got them. I usually say, just bring out whatever 15 you got. They bring me out some ultraviolet yellow Air Force One. That's a B movie. What? And then they bring out some long ass Chuck Taylors that got disco ball inspired glitter on top of it. I don't want that. Take them back to the bag. Don't ever bring those out. Say, whatever you guys got, you better lie to me and say, oh, we just don't bring out them shits.
Was wearing Yeezys or Human Races or Jordans or Nike Dunks or some dope
You made me
ass
act
shoe.
out.
And if you were super into shoes, you were dubbed a sneakerhead. The 2010s were the perfect time to be a sneakerhead, with the community and culture being at its peak. But nowadays, it's like no one cares anymore. No one's rioting outside of pop-up shops. There's no crazy hype for a new sneaker release. And craziest of all, a lot of these super hype shoes that sold for thousands lost all of their value. So what happened to the sneakerheads, the sneaker economy, and the entirety of the Hypebeast era? Well, I think that there are 4 main reasons all of this died. With
This shit right here is lame. I'm pausing. I don't care. Right here, lame. They be like this. They be like this. Look. Yeah. Let's see, tag. Oh, you can't even see. They be like, let's see, tag. Don't really see. Oh yeah, these are the big slides. Let me see that flex. Yeah, doesn't look too good. Yeah, no, these are fake. You can still get them though, 2,000 right now. I'm the only one in America with these. They only made 6 of them. I got them because they know I be doing my sneaker reselling shit. Jordan sent them to me. Jordan did this and gave them to me. That's how they be. That shit dead, and I was broke, so I wasn't going for
The
that.
first reason being thanks to sneaker resellers. Collecting sneakers and sneakerhead culture has been around for a long time, and it roughly began in the 70s. But things really started going crazy once Jordans were introduced in the 80s. Air Jordans were produced by Nike, inspired by basketball star Michael Jordan, and the first shoe they released was the iconic Jordan 1. Of course, around this time, other shoes were sought after too, like Converse's and other brands that I'm forgetting right now. But let's be real here, Jordans were the cream of the crop. According to National Geographic, for some weird reason, they said sneaker culture began to take off beyond the basketball court too. When the influential hip-hop group Run DMC released their single My Adidas in 1986, it earned the group a first-of-its-kind endorsement deal with the brand. Soon after, Kurt Cobain of the grunge band Nirvana made Converse a symbol of rebellion and youth. Sneakers were popularized and glamorized by celebrities, especially athletes and musicians, who set the trends and influenced the culture. This generated excitement for sneakers. People coveted certain shoes that the youth deemed cool, and kids started collecting them. The companies realized this, so companies like Nike, Adidas, and more began releasing limited edition sneakers.
Kids were camping out in front of shoe stores, much like this episode of HBO's Entourage.
I don't get it. All these people online for sneakers? Oh yeah, some of them probably.
I never camped once again. Moms was not going for that. Guess stop. You are never like really on some. Really on some like you're never going. I could barely spend. I could only spend a night at one cousin's house. They wasn't gonna leave me outside.
Camped out
This was when niggas was getting stabbed and killed for Jordans who shot for some Jordans. Y'all remember that?
all night for sneakers. Vince, these ain't just sneakers. These are limited edition Fukijamas. Fukiwatas?
In some cities, they were breaking down doors, rioting. Some were even arrested.
If someone gets hurt in front of a Nike store, you're gonna blame Nike. You can't get hurt clicking a button.
The reason they would do this is to drive up demand and the forbidden H word, hype. If 200 people wanted the shoe and they only sold 100, resellers in the aftermarket could mark up those shoes. Maybe 100 of those 200 people couldn't quite afford the new price, but the other 100 could. And this is where the problem began. For a long time, resellers, or their less pleasant name, scalpers, weren't the worst thing in the sneaker community.
I wanted them. I wanted them. The Tuxedo 11s. Oh my goodness.
And they weren't as hated as they are today. If anything,
Pissing
them
me
marking
off
up
already.
shoes an extra chunk of change made the sneaker community more intense. It made waiting in line for a brand new pair of shoes all the more thrilling. And it helped to inflate the artificial value of these shoes since they were even more expensive than the retail price. But for the most part, sneakerheads and everyone in the community, even the resellers, were pretty into shoes. Buy, sell, trade was the motto for a lot of these people, collecting and trading sneakers like they were Pokemon cards. And honestly, it was a pretty cool community until it got infiltrated. It's kind of hard to put a timestamp on this, but I'd say roughly the early 2010s is when the sneaker community started to get really hot, especially thanks to social media and pop culture. It was in this time period that
I'll tell you what it is. I know exactly when it was. It was I think it was 2015. I think it was exactly 2015 or 2016, going into 2016 or 2016 itself. No, it was definitely 2015. Because even my broke ass was thinking about camping some lines and doing all type. Let's go here, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might be annoying. I'm gonna stop doing that. But it was definitely 2015. I remember. But that used to be back when it was cool to have your own style, own personality. Like, you have the Easter 8s. I got those from my sister when I was a jit. Right? I went to Portland and got her some. It was fine. You wear them today, them niggas not retro. Them shit not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, they used to have the 11s for the girls. They used to be pink. Have the snake skin on it. Now you wear that, you getting clown.
brands like Jordan, Nike, and others were picking up even more steam. Simultaneously, streetwear brands and streetwear fashion was taking off, with Supreme, Bape, Off-White, and more picking up steam. Or Palace, do you guys remember Palace? That was fire. Any and everyone was jumping onto the streetwear and sneaker hype train. Again, according to Nat Geo, the Kardashian era had a huge impact on the culture. It helped target a whole new demographic of people to experience sneaker culture. It was a blending of high and low fashion, which the shoe industry has never really seen before. Because
thought they
of
did
all
that
these
with, like,
people getting
Huarache
involved,
and
the forbidden H
Roshi
word I
runners.
mentioned was getting bigger, and everyone was becoming a hype beast. The term hype beast had actually been around since the mid 2000s, and originally it was a derogatory term for people who just followed streetwear trends. But eventually it was embraced by these sorts of people who were proud to be hype beasts.
Tell me the difference between the kids today versus what you were doing 35 years ago.
These kids today don't seem like they want the shoes. They want the thing that goes along with having the shoes. Somebody figured out that there's money for a pair of
Nah, hype beast was no one ever. Yeah, I'm a hype beast. Well, people say that to like try and flip it, but like it was never a good thing. Like, I want to be a hype beast. No one. It's always been a bad thing. Like, you a hype beast? No, I actually like these. And the shoes are some turtle doves or some red Octobers that they got. You know, if this was not Kanye's name attached to it, you would not want them.
sneakers because of this hype.
The hype is generated by Nike, which denied Nightline's request to talk about its strategy. For prize sneakers, they make a limited supply, driving up the aftermarket price tag.
Another good example of the hypebeast trend can be seen in
Niggas just
Supreme.
hug.
Well, not quite sneakers, Supreme was directly related to sneaker culture. The brand was popularized by Tyler the Creator, Odd Future, and skate culture. It became so trendy and so hyped that people were out there buying Supreme bricks and Supreme shovels, and then reselling them for hundreds of dollars and sometimes thousands.
Kid, they wait in line for 3 or 4 days now.
For what?
You're probably gonna freak out when I show you what they're waiting for.
Please do.
Yeah, shovels, bricks.
Shovels and bricks.
We can only thank Supreme for making this their new shovel.
This is around the time when everybody and their mom was getting into streetwear or sneaker culture, all for the sake of the hype. Every celebrity was making their
It seemed like at a certain point there was no high fashion. There was only streetwear. I was like 2016 to 2018 is where it popularized in 2015, but that was when it was like 2012 to 2014 to 2015 was like the Roshis. The first was yeah, I'm drawing a blank. First was Roshis, then Huaraches in 2014. 13 was Roshis, and then back then we used to also wear basketball shoes outside with jeans on some nut shit. These are really where jeans and hyper flights, jeans and hyper fuses, jeans and hyper dunks. I was wearing some not Kobe's. Yeah, I was wearing some yellow Kobe's with some jeans, some yellow Kobe's with blue jeans and a jacket. It's raining outside.
their own shoe. You had Kanye with Yeezys, never mind the Red Octobers that he already made that were super hype, super rare, and dope. You had Pharrell with the Human Races, one of my personal favorites from the hype era. You had Travis Scott with the Travi Patty 4s and the Cactus Jackie Dunks. I don't know what the Dunks are called. I made that up. And the 4s too. They're not called the Travi Patties. And low-key, one of the most slept on sneakers, the OVO 12s.
Nah, OVO 10s was it for me. I need them OVO 10s.
Jordan. I don't think it was really slept on at the time, but these were smooth. And retrospectively, this was a crazy time to be alive. Not only were massive celebrities collaborating with sneaker brands, streetwear brands like Supreme dropped an insane collab with Louis Vuitton, which brought the Hypebeast era in streetwear to a whole new level. Need I even mention all of the sneakers that Off-White put out with Nike and Converse? Seriously, it was ridiculous how many collabs they had. It was an entire takeover of the pop culture. I mean, these collabs between all of these big names and brands resulted in hype never seen before. It was off the charts. SoundCloud Rap 2 was popping off at the time and everyone in it was wearing Hypebeast stuff. And on top of all this, all of your favorite influencers and internet people were dripped out in Hypebeast stuff too. I mean, remember when FaZe Banks and Rice Gum tried to make that fashion brand? And at the time I was watching a lot of Nade Shot because he was one of my favorite COD players. And next thing I know, he's doing this Hypebeast sneaker collection videos on his channel. On top of this, Complex had that sneaker shopping series that I guess they still have. But back then they had people like Eminem.
Hey, I think he just got arrested in the big 26. No, it wasn't 26. It was 25 maybe. I don't know. I think he got arrested. That whole thing got raided. Or am I thinking about a whole different... Am I thinking about... Is it Complex or is it Cool Kicks? One of them. They got raided. So they was doing some... I don't know.
Ronaldo, Migos, literally everybody was on it. It felt like in every single facet of pop culture, sneaker culture, streetwear culture, and Hypebeast stuff was everywhere. I mean, dude, there was this YouTuber who was huge back then called Blazendary, whose biggest video is wearing a crazy outfit on my first day of school. In parentheses, Supreme, Louis Vuitton,
College?
Gucci.
Today, I decided to bust out a $4,000 outfit for school just to see if I can get some reactions out of my friends and maybe even a teacher or two. We'll have to see. As you guys can see, I'm wearing the Supreme Louis Vuitton box logo along with 3 gold chains, a Louis Vuitton belt with Supreme boxers, and the Gucci.
You finna go to his teachers like, hey, check the boxers too. You see it, twin.
Snakes that I picked up for my birthday vlog. And you guys are gonna be surprised for the kind of backpack I use for school. All I use is just a regular old Supreme Courier backpack.
Blazendary. Let's see what he up to right now. Hmm. 25. He's 25 years old. So when was that video? 8 years ago. So that's his senior year in high school. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And this got 14 million views. This entire time, the aftermarket was growing in accordance to the hype. As many of you may or may not remember, shoes and clothes from these brands in particular began to get very expensive. In 2013, Grailed was created, and in 2015, StockX and GOAT were created as well. There were others, but these were some of the main websites to buy and sell your stuff on, and everyone wanted to start reselling, myself included. I was about 14 years old, I think, when this stuff started popping off, and I took notice.
Yeah, me too.
And like any 14-year-old at the time, I was infatuated with sneaker culture. I thought it was so cool. All my friends were getting cool shoes. I didn't have any money, so my brain immediately went to, I need to start flipping shoes like everyone else on the internet. So I bought my first pair of expensive sneakers ever when the Yeezy Zebras dropped, and I sold them for $300 profit on Twitter. I'll probably throw some pictures up on screen for you guys, but you know what? My business went pretty well. I think I did all right. Now, I'm not very proud of being a reseller, or more realistically a scalper, but I was also a kid, so don't tear my head off. I only did it with like 15 pairs of shoes. I wasn't
okay, I was about to say, with one, you calling yourself a reseller?
But I did do this for a little on a small scale, buying and selling various shoes and reselling them on my buy sell trade Instagram page or my Twitter. Actually, I think the Twitter I use right now is what I started it for sneakers. However, I think my experience as a reseller is important for this video because it kind of shows how things went south in sneaker culture. I was doing it at such a small scale, buying only a pair or two of sneakers.
I'm not gonna lie, the thing that makes me rub me the wrong way, and I don't know if y'all could tell, y'all know me by watching all my videos. I was poor, so all this shit was pissing me off. Talking about, oh, my favorite players coming out with their shoes. Kobe's coming out with some shoes, couldn't get them, sold out. Y'all niggas got them. The niggas who don't hoop, the niggas who don't care about, they all got them, and now you selling them. Pissing me off. I'm sitting at home like, damn, I'm really sitting here stuck with the generic team. Y'all remember Team Jordans? I was wearing Team Jordans in 2015. Y'all know when Team Jordans released? Me either. I don't fucking know. 90s, 80s? I don't fucking know.
Every time there was a hype drop. And I joined the community at the end of it though, because the already experienced resellers who were older and had much more capital were about to take over. Yeezys by Kanye West and Adidas were undoubtedly the most hype shoe you could buy at the time. The 350 V1s were like diamonds, very rare and very expensive, and the V2s were like gold. And people were rushing to buy the new V2s every time they dropped like it was a modern day gold rush. Quickly, people began to create bot programs and bots to buy shoes on releases quicker than any human with 10 computers could, because back then you had to wait in a queue. So what I would do is I'd set up my computer, I'd set up my laptop, I'd grab everyone in my house's phone, and I pull up the Yeezy website on every device, multiple tabs, and wait and hope I got in on one tab. But when the bots came, there was nothing you could do. If you didn't have bots, you were pretty much out of luck. Not only that, but some people were buying up all the supply of all the shoes in the aftermarket, paying the premiums, and then just controlling the price because they had so much capital to begin with. I remember going to the bathroom every Thursday at school at like 10 a.m. trying to catch the Supreme drop just for it to be sold out in 5 seconds. Like, it was impossible to compete with.
Maddie had bread. I wasn't even looking that way. I didn't even have a phone in high school till my sophomore year. Real mud baby, real struggle baby. And it was the iPhone 5C, the color joint, the one where the screen popped out after 6 months.
With bots.
I feel like that was part of the culture, right? Like for me, that was just part
Like
of the experience.
physical outside.
The physical outside, waiting in the cold on December 23rd when the Space Jams came out,
Jordan
retro.
11s, yeah.
I lined up 14 hours in like -2-degree weather.
Did you get the shoe?
I did. Then when it transitions everything online and I couldn't get anything unless you had a bot.
Bots, yeah.
I didn't have the bots. People were investing $1,000 on bots. It kind of like pushed people like me out of the community because I wasn't.
It pushed me out
for a resale.
I mean, nigga, I wasn't in. I couldn't afford to be in.
I wasn't doing it to sell my sneakers. I was doing it because I wanted the sneaker. I wanted to wear them. I wanted to show them off when around my friends.
Resellers who previously were casually buying sneakers and reselling them time to time for fun or for the occasional profit were now operating and treating sneakers as a full-time business. This is at a time when I remember everyone on Twitter was a guru or a hustler, flexing how much they made and telling you can pay them to learn the ways. This is also around the time that dropshipping gurus started popping up, like the Ty Lopez era. And I remember people on Twitter were even selling these things called jigs where you could get stuff for free basically. Regardless, the whole community, especially people my age in high school, started to resell shoes, and it began to get so competitive that it was one of the main things that ruined sneaker culture.
The Don 2s, those are what they call, right? I wanted those because and for me, I'm picky too. Like, I'm poor, but I'm picky, right? So like, I still want a shoe that if I'm gonna spend it, I'm not gonna spend some shoes on some, even though ones, as you can see, are my favorite shoes. I don't give a fuck about Jordans no more. Jordan don't like you niggas. He don't like y'all. He don't like us. But if I do get some, I want something that I actually genuinely like the twos. No one like your twos. If you know Jordan, no one like the twos. I want the white low ones. I want the black ones. I mean the low black ones. I want the Dawn, it was like peach color. I want the blue one. I want to get them. This was fire.
Went too far
because no one else had them.
To do it, even myself. Again, I don't think I was a big part of the problem though. I only sold like 15 pairs of shoes and I was a kid, but hey, it wasn't the best thing I've ever done. Resellers had always been a part of sneaker culture, and I don't think there was really a problem with them for the first few decades, as the market seemed more organic. But as sneaker popularity was astroturfed in the hype era, many people, including young, dumb, impressionable kids like 14-year-old me, saw it as an opportunity to make money and be just like their favorite celebrity, artist, or influencer who was flexing, balling out, wearing all this dope-ass streetwear. It got to a point where all of the interest was artificially inflated, to the point where the market was mostly just resellers buying and trading to resell, not even selling to people anymore. I think a good example of how scummy resellers began to get is
Kobe merch. Let's talk about it. As someone who's a Kobe fan, Kobe verse right here on my rib cage because he really cut from me, or I'm really cut from him. Right? It makes me sick when I'm driving and you just see all this Kobe stuff everywhere. It touches a part of my heart. In the first quadrant and in the fourth quadrant, there's a bit of black and despair. Because why now do y'all care? And these who don't care. Now y'all selling the t-shirts and the quality bad and y'all just doing it for money. I talk to you, you don't care about Kobe. I talk to you, don't care about basketball. Not even the Kobe, you don't care about hoops. You just making bad stuff just for bad quality things just to get a buck. That's my issue. And then it makes it super hard now for me to get some Kobe's because I remember when Kobe retired, all his shoes, they wasn't hard to find. I remember I was like, ooh, he retired. I'm in high school. I'm like, bro, I can't wait till I start getting my own money. I started working on getting my own money. He literally passed within the next few years. And now, so I wasn't making money. I wasn't making money. I was focused on hooping in school and stuff. Soon as I'm like, okay, I can't wait till this part. Right when I'm about to hit this part, he passed away in so I just never was able to get Kobe's. Now I got the Kobe's. You talking about me? Got the Kobe 8s.
When they tried to take advantage of Kobe's death.
But I want more.
An article on ESPN in January of 2020, Nike had.
And I'm not gonna sit on them. I'm generally gonna wear them. Like I'm really hooping them. Right now I got 2 Kobe 8s. Those were like OD. Those are a gift. I got Kobe 9s from like 2020 or something like that. Like someone gave them to me. I got the Kobe's. I got those like in July when they just came out in July. I actually got it in the sneakers app. And then I got his Adidas Kobe's, and I have 2 Adidas Kobe's. That's how much of a like Kobe fan I am. Like I wanna wear all crazy 8s. I got crazy 8s, crazy 97s, and another one. I forgot the name.
To quickly remove all of its Kobe Bryant related products from the shelves to stop people from profiting off of his death. And they weren't even able to do it successfully because sneakers and memorabilia prices were hiked by 200 to 300% on resale sites within 24 hours of his passing. Thanks to resellers, the middle class of the sneaker economy could no longer afford to buy the shoes. And for the most part, it was either big resellers trading with one another or selling to celebrities or selling to rich people who could afford it. But then the bubble burst.
Does anyone want to explain why shoes are literally just dying right now? I own a sneaker store and we've been struggling for the last couple months. And y'all can say, oh, it's because you overprice things. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's a Yeezy. You're overpricing it. It's $110. Retails like 2 something. Market's like $190. I'm pricing it at $110. It's brand new. An off-white lot dunk, which you haven't been able.
Where this place at? Huh? I feel like it's just too late. It's too late for this. Y'all left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. If you marked them down, that means it was too pricey. No one's finna see a resale store knowing that for the past 10 years, we walk into resale stores, you see some Jordan 1 going for 200. You like, 200? What Jordans are these? Oh, these are the Westbrook collabs. I remember I had some Westbrook collab Jordans. The teal and yellow shit. I wore them for 2 years, hooping in them. I get 1 shoe a year, like a lot of us. 1 shoe a year. 200. Mom said, ooh. But guess what? If my foot was a regular size, it would have been, I was like a size 14 at the time in 9th grade. I'm talking about the regular size. If you was a size 12, it would have been like 130. Your size 200. They had them all wrapped up in saran wrap.
What to get for 4 years now? Used to be going for $500 to $600. Market's like $400. We have them priced at $320.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I made a decent amount of money reselling sneakers, but I got so many pairs that never sold. And some of these inventory hasn't just been sitting for 6 months, a year, 2 years. Some of these inventory has been sitting for 3+ years. And at this point, I don't even know what to do. Like this dunk right here, the ones that you guys are seeing right now, I had them for over 561 days. Like guys, how is that even possible? Like,
at first, sneaker
how much you
reselling
selling
caused
for?
The death of sneaker culture. The resellers,
if you don't put them at fucking 112, bro,
made shoes unattainable for the everyday sneakerhead.
Yellow
However,
or
as we
joint.
saw in those clips and the intro, prices for a lot of these shoes have dropped drastically. Resellers are going broke. So why are prices dropping so hard, and why are people no longer interested in sneaker culture or hype culture like they used to be? Well, a big reason was because there ended up being too much supply, and this is also thanks to the resellers. They just ruined all of it, didn't they? Sneaker companies wanted to fight back against resellers, and to do this, they flooded the market, which made it nearly impossible for shoes to be hoarded. Nike was one of the major players in this. To combat resellers, especially with the Panda Dunks and Jordan 1s, Nike drastically increased volume on these popular models, leading to market oversaturation and a significant drop in resale prices.
Is there one dunk that is still selling heavy from years past?
Nope.
Really?
Are Panda Dunks still selling? Can you still? Panda
Really?
Dunks are dead. Panda Dunks are officially dead.
I got offered wholesale for $50. Nobody's buying them. You can't even sell them at retail.
Nike moved away from the extreme scarcity model to maximize direct-to-consumer sales, which undermined the get-rich-quick model for resellers. On top of this, the pace at which drops came to the market became completely unsustainable. Beforehand, more exclusive drops drove demand through the roof, but over time they ended up releasing new sneakers almost every single week, whether it be a new colorway, a new model, a slightly different colorway change, a re-release of an old colorway. They were just spam releasing shoes, making the sneaker market as a whole feel irrelevant since no one needs or even wants.
What I feel like Nike should do, obviously, who am I? I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Give it a rest for about 6 months. Let the flood dry down. Then release how they used to every 2 years. How many colorways y'all got? A lot for Jordan. This was Jordan specifically. Release. Like we got the flu game 12s. We got them in 2016, right? Or 2016. Y'all wait until 2019. Then do them again. And make that change. Like the infrared, the OGs and the new ones, it was more pink than infrared. Like do those little changes again. And do them like literally once every 2 months, or make a drop like that. Because they was at a certain point, they was doing it every single month. They drop every single month. Or a collection every single month. These are the 2012 UNCs. These are the 2019 you know what I'm saying? Like these are the, like, bruh, we can't keep up. And make more of them so that people are going, you can reach them. But it's like, I got these. I'm gonna just get the ones next month. That's how it used to be. Nah, I couldn't get those, and I can't get the ones next month. You got one pair of Jordans the whole year if you got it like that. If you like the Jordans
that
like
much stuff. And
there's just bullshit
marketing
marketing to me.
Between
But I like what they did with the overflooding
This
thing.
is going back decades, with the early 2000s market looking completely different from how it did at its peak. Early on,
Making the
size runs
resellers
were
look
low,
dumb.
often obnoxiously to the point where everyone spent most of their time on forums complaining about the impossibility of finding a decent pair. A run of 24 to 36 pairs was not uncommon, but 500 to 1,000 was more likely. This period was all about creating something cool to stimulate the growing global community of footwear obsessives. In response to all the complaining, Nike, amongst other brands, produced more, a lot more. So what they originally sold as exclusive became extremely and maybe too accessible. And I believe that to a degree, rarity and exclusivity is nice. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to walk outside and see everyone wearing the exact same pair of shoes that I'm wearing. It got to a point where Jordan 1s were about as accessible as Nike Roches. Do you guys remember those?
Yeah.
Those were like, that's crazy. But this didn't just happen with Nike. Kanye's Yeezy brand famously partnered with Adidas in 2014, and as I explained, they absolutely blew up. But then Kanye started his whole Twitter rant and anti-Semitism stuff, which is obviously not a good look for Adidas, no matter how well the shoes were selling. I remember he even said, Adidas won't cancel my contract, and then they did, which was kind of funny. As a result came a pretty hefty and publicized feud over how things were going to work out in the split, and after a long legal battle following the cut ties in 2022, an agreement was finally reached. Adidas chief executive Bjorn Gulden told reporters without giving any details of the agreement away.
He better be wearing Adidas. He wearing Asics or Hokas. He wearing
that there aren't any more open issues and there is no money going either.
Imagine being the owner of Popeyes and saying, I'm eating El Pollo Loco for dinner.
Way. Ending the partnership in 2022 left Adidas with unwanted Yeezy stock worth some 1.2 billion pounds, including shoes and other goods. To combat this inventory problem, Adidas planned to sell off all the remaining inventory by the end of 2024. Since Yeezys were pretty much the thing in the sneakerhead and hypebeast game, a huge influx of new and cheap product wrecked the exclusive market. Plus, they re-released tons of old Yeezy models that sneakerheads thought could never be re-released, diluting the previously successful market. Adidas and Yeezy were already kind of doing what Nike was doing before Kanye ruined his relationship with Adidas, but once they decided to sell off the stock, it was GG's, completely disorienting the current supply and demand structure. So after resellers priced everyone out, the pendulum swung right back, and so many sneakers released it overwhelmed everyone to the point where they didn't care. The companies themselves weren't so innocent in all of this either. StockX, one of the biggest platforms for reselling, was actually sued by Nike for various reasons, including the fact that they were selling counterfeit shoes. This had always been a big controversy.
I bought these exact ones right here, or maybe green, for my sister. Stock X. It was these, right? Or no, I think it was the green ones. I think I got my sister the green ones like 3 years ago. She said it was fake for Christmas. She said it was fake. When I buy somebody some shoes, especially if you have small feet, I go on StockX because usually they, from what I remember when I was growing up, StockX is good for small shoes, like small shoe sizes. A lot of time where you can look at them. It's the easiest way to see. Go, they be selling you some used ass shit with the picture look clean. You get them, it got dog doo doo on it, and then I bought my dog some Kobe's from StockX. He hasn't told me nothing. They gotta be real, right? And I bought some shoes from StockX. Once that was wraps, it's
with StockX, and if you're in the sneaker
I haven't
community,
shopped at StockX
that
for
tons
like
of people
years
would
now.
record videos trying to get fake shoes through their verification system, which is what they were known for, and StockX actually lost the lawsuit. But Nike and its associates aren't perfect either. Nike executive Ann Hebert, or whatever, left the company after her son allegedly used corporate issued credit cards to buy $132,000 worth of shoes. Apparently he only made like 20K profit, which is crazy. But as I'm sure many of you can imagine, a lot of people assume that she was the one helping him backdoor the shoes so that they could skim some money off the top, and then if she ever got caught, she could blame it on her son. She then became the CEO of Foot Locker, with Redditors commenting things like, "Smart, why limit yourself to backdooring just one brand?" But there were also two other reasons that sneaker culture died. One of which is that fashion simply moved on. I mean, can you picture someone wearing something like this these days? Along with the financial side and exclusivity pressure placed on Hypebeast fashion, the trends just moved on to something else.
Yeah, I never liked Supreme like this, like box logo or the big ass print. This is probably the biggest print of anything, and it's just a Hellstar jacket. I don't know where I got it from. Could be fake, but it's like I'm not going on my way to show you I got a Louis Vuitton jacket. Throw the print everywhere. I used to be, then I grew up.
Like they always do. Which Off-White's creator, the late and great Virgil, predicted before his death, saying in an interview, "I would definitely say it's gonna die, you know? Like, its time will be up." Overall, as a broad vein of fashion, streetwear has lost its definition. As RB Lee, the vice president for content strategy at Hypebeast, said, "I can't even define it anymore." It's not that people have grown tired of streetwear's building blocks, it's that those hoodies and sneakers and t-shirts have become so absorbed by high fashion that the line between streetwear and fashion has pretty much disappeared. It has simply become the platform on which the whole system stands, said Demna, the creative director at Balenciaga. A big point of the lifestyle shoes and the streetwear fashion was to be like anti-establishment, but when everyone started wearing it, it's kind of like that is establishment now, especially when high fashion started collaborating with streetwear brands. Vogue Business also reported that sneaker demand has practically nosedived. Tons of people started opting towards higher fashion focused show choices, like with the current trend of boots. Many have even pointed to the nail in the sneakerhead coffin being when Trump announced his own pair of sneakers on the campaign trail.
Trump's first stop at a sneaker convention in Philadelphia, facing some boos from the audience.
It's a slightly different audience than I'm used to, but I love this audience. We have to go out and vote.
What you mean by that? And did he just say we gotta go out and grope? Is that what he just said? What did he say?
Different audience than I'm used to, but I love this audience.
Black people.
We have to go out and vote.
Oh, vote.
Get young people out to vote.
Of course he said vote.
The whole idea of sneakers has become
Whoa!
We gotta get young people out to vote.
I thought my ears. I thought he said we gotta get black people to vote.
The whole idea of sneakers has become so insanely
that wouldn't even be
that the
whoa.
industry and
It
its
would just
expectations are completely warped. And on top of this, I mean, just try to picture people wearing the Hypebeast shoes and clothes these days. I mean, you can't. Fashion has simply changed. I mean, dad shoes are back, neutral colors are back. People aren't going out in bright red Supreme fits anymore. However, in the end, it wasn't just changing fashion trends that killed sneaker culture. My fourth main reason comes down to simple economics, especially following a post-pandemic economy where everything is expensive. I mean, eggs are getting too damn pricey, so why would I pay a bunch of money for some fancy shoes? A longtime sneaker fan said on a forum, "As a 13-year collector, I have to say yes, the sneaker culture sucks now. You can't even buy the kicks you want without going above and beyond and out of your way. I think it's officially time to throw in the towel. Because of resellers, most sneakerheads were priced out of the game, and all at a time for where many, money was already tight. The industry has done its best to stay relevant with younger generations, but with disposable income for many people seemingly drying up, it doesn't seem like it's working too well. Even though sneaker prices have come back down a little bit, retail is still pretty expensive. Nowadays, a lot of would-be sneaker buyers are leaning more towards experiences over material.
I remember when at a certain point, every shoe was like 600, 500. You like, oh, let me see what, and you just hear 600, 500. You just like, yeah, those go for 500. But like when you really bag that, it's so much damn money for some shoes that if you wear 4 times in a row, someone gonna say, you love them shoes, nigga. Take them shoes off. But I pay for them. You just, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, now you can't wear them, but more of like you can do that with other shoes. And it's like, well, nigga, these shits was 100.
Purchases.
And they look
Plus,
good.
most people working regular jobs that have some money saved up also have side hustles, and they don't want to waste that money on sneakers. Real world problems popped up left and right, which made the average household budget a lot more tight.
Do you feel like there are a lot less resale shops now?
A lot of shops have shut down.
Yeah.
That's only because of Nike. It's because of like the whole, economy. People don't have the same amount of money, right, to spend on sneakers as freely they did 5 years ago. Your bills go up, Easy Pass goes up, tolls go up, gas goes up. Your pay doesn't go up as much drastically as your bills go up. So people are just generally spending a little lesser than they used to.
No one has time or money to care anymore, and I think that's pretty apparent. I mean, wearing a fake pair of shoes used to be the worst thing ever, and now I doubt anyone would bat an eye if I wore a pair of Yeezy Reps.
Yeah, no one will give a fuck. I promise you, it's like no one will care. You wear your shit. Just don't go around trying to sell it and do stuff like that. But wear what you gotta wear, honestly. Wear whatever, fake, real, whatever. Don't go around claiming I got all it and it's all real. And I'm gonna sell it to people too. Tell them it's real. Now that's where you go wrong. Don't do that. But I will say, in Europe, so many kids had Yeezys out there. I'm like, I don't know if these are real or fake. I'm giving autograph. A kid throw me some. He throw me some Yeezys. Say here. I said, can I buy them? He said, nah. I gave him some money still, but he gave them to me. And I'm about to give them to my dog today. I had him for like 3 years now. 2.5 years, 3 years now. And so yesterday was his birthday. I'm about to give him to my dog today. I don't know if he'll fit him or not though. But hey man, I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Let me know what y'all feel about this down below in the comment section. W video Maddie. Love you to death, but I'm gonna see you on the next one. I'm going.